Venomous snakes are true monsters for most animals, as one bite is enough to dispatch a prey. Venom is modified saliva, and over millions of years of evolution, its chemical composition has become incredibly complex and multi-component. The method of venom delivery has also changed. It no longer freely flows in the snake's mouth, but is concentrated in special channels inside venomous fangs. The venom is supplied there from glands that produce the toxin at a relatively high cost. For a snake's body to produce venom, it has to expend a considerable amount of energy. So venomous snakes hunt and feed much more frequently than pythons and boas. But the primary weapon of snakes is worth it. There are several different types of toxins. For instance, cobras possess a neurotoxin that primarily affects the nervous system. This causes pain, convulsions, and uncontrolled salivation. But most importantly, such venom stops lung contractions. In essence, cobras and pythons deal with their victims using one method, but in different ways. The bushmaster snake has a complex venom, primarily hemotoxic. It poisons the blood and destroys the cardiovascular system. For most snakes, venom is injected with the help of large fangs located at the front of their jaws. Hence, the bite can be lightning fast, and the victim doesn't always feel it. Sometimes only the first symptoms of poisoning indicate that the animal was bitten. But by that time, it's usually too late. However, this rule has exceptions. For example, the venomous fangs of a boomslang snake are located deep inside the mouth, so it must not only grip the victim tightly, but also hold it in its grasp for quite a bit, making chewing movements. Interestingly enough, this limits the size of the boomslang's prey. They primarily hunt small animals then that they are able to hold. But the venom of this species is so potent that it could overcome even a lion. We are accustomed to thinking that humans are weak compared to mighty beasts with their claws, fangs, tusks, and sharp hooves. This isn't entirely true. For humans, considering weight and other physical characteristics, there is very good resistance to poisons. For instance, where a person has an hour's time to administer an antidote, a larger and stronger horse has only a few minutes before the poison finally overcomes the animal. And there are venomous snakes whose bites an adult and healthy human can endure even without an antidote, and survive after a short poisoning. But it's really not worth testing this. If bitten by a snake, one should seek medical attention as soon as possible. Moreover, even if a victim is lucky enough to survive, the toxin can lead to irreversible damage to muscle and nerve tissue, resulting in twisted and non-functional limbs, tissue necrosis around the bite site, and damage to internal organs. Moreover, the majority of venomous snakes hunt small animals like rodents. But the poison from a single bite may drop in an elephant or an entire herd of horses. Most venomous snakes conserve the venom and just simply bite during self-defense, or inject a very minimal amount of venom. However, not all species can regulate the quantity, so one should definitely be very wary of snakes. Such powerful toxins are necessary for snakes for self-defense, and to hunt rodents, a less effective weapon is also sufficient. Still, cobras feel themselves quite confident among tigers and lions and other aggressive territorial animals. However, the company where a snake can't feel comfortable is in the presence of a honey badger. This creature, with its cute face, comically large paws, and curious eyes, is known as a fearless predator. It attacks lions, fights leopards, and steals prey from hyenas. But the main highlight is its little-known superpower, which we will discuss now. You already know that humans have decent resistance to poisons, enough that in most cases, an antidote can be administered in time after a limb bite. Well, a honey badger's resistance is so remarkable that it doesn't need any antidote at all. If a honey badger spots a highly venomous snake, it simply goes to it and eats it. Nothing else interests the honey badger. The attack of this small, stocky gangster, which terrorizes half of Africa, looks so merciless that a venomous cobra, which just frightened you with its venom, evokes genuine sympathy, doesn't it? It tries to resist, but can do literally nothing. The honey badger advances without sophistication. While the mongoose prefers dodging every cobra strike and wearing down the opponent, the honey badger simply grabs the snake with its paws and bites its head. The predator's jaws are very strong, and its paws are suitable for digging burrows. Hence, the cobra can't escape such a grip. Interestingly enough, the honey badger acts swiftly, precisely because it understands that the snake is highly venomous. The cobra manages to bite the honey badger and administer a massive dose of toxin. It fights for survival, so it doesn't hold back on venom, but in vain. The honey badger bites the reptile at the base of the skull. Only after that does the venom start to take effect. The honey badger loses balance, staggers, falls, and freezes. But it's alive, just sleeping. The snake's venom, which causes seizures in a lion and stops lung function within a couple of minutes, merely puts the honey badger to sleep for an hour or even less. Then the creature wakes up and continues its meal. It seems its appetite has only grown stronger. So while for most other snake hunters, the main task is to evade the bite and prevent the venom from entering their bodies, the honey badger's task is to bite off the snake's head before its venom makes it fall asleep. And you know what? The honey badger usually handles this task with ease. Most snakes just don't understand what a dangerous predator is before them. They don't try to hide because they think that they can scare off or, in the worst case, deal with the enemy using venom. And it becomes too late when the honey badger is within striking distance. To understand how dangerous the honey badger is, how well it resists venom, and how brutally it deals with enemies, one must experience at least one encounter with this predator. For venomous snakes, such luck is a huge rarity. The hystrix is one of the most unusual animals in Africa. It looks like a guinea pig on steroids. But what stands out most is the presence of numerous quills on its back. Typically, these quills are directed backward. Thanks to the structure, the hystrix doesn't get stuck in bushes, thickets, and dense low plants. But due to this design, the creature uses its unique defensive weapons differently. When a hystrix faces danger, it doesn't run away or attempt to overcome it with its paws. Instead, it does something almost any other animal avoids. It turns its back to the threat and approaches the predator head-on. In the case of this hystrix, this is a genuinely effective tactic. The animal can erect its fur along with the quills. Here's what happens when a snake dares to attack a hystrix. This python didn't know what it was getting itself into. It thought that it saw the prey's back a moment before it attempted to escape, so it tried to pounce on the hystrix from behind. This was a fatal mistake. The hystrix attacked the snake with its quills. Its skin is perfect for these sharp and long natural spikes. In a few seconds, the hystrix turned the mighty reptile capable of dealing with a deer into a helpless cushion for quills. The secret to the hystrix's success is that it works its quills very actively and precisely. It's not chaotic movement, but rather calculated strikes. The hystrix targets the head, unprotected parts of the opponent's body, and its eyes. But the main thing is that the quills have an unusual structure. They have serrated tips, so after penetrating the prey's body, they get stuck in it. They detach from the hystrix itself instantly and painlessly. Therefore, the quills not only pierce the enemy, but also embed in its flesh. Even a nimble leopard rarely manages to extract a quill from such a wound. To do that, opposing large fingers like ours are needed. and a snake, which lacks limbs altogether, has zero chances of getting the quills out. Wounds with quills become inflamed, infections enter them, leading to blood poisoning and a fatal end for the aggressive reptile. Besides, it hurts to crawl. So, when meeting hystrixes, it's better not to pretend to be great hunters, but to save yourselves by fleeing. There are cases where large pythons attacked hystrixes before they could use their weapons. But then the snakes bitterly regretted it. After all, reptiles lack chewing teeth. They swallow the prey whole, meaning the quills end up inside the snake, and inevitably destroy its vital organs. That's how, even after losing a battle to a snake, a hystrix can still get its revenge. This is one of the most famous scenes where snakes erred in choosing their opponent. In the coastal zone amid the sand and crevices in the rocks, a vast number of snakes inhabited the area. They blocked the path for iguanas. The lizards couldn't cope with the snakes in open combat, but their escape looks no less spectacular and cool than the most epic battles of giant predators. Just watch how quickly the lizard tries to escape the pursuers. But there are too many snakes. They surround it. When the iguana escapes from one group, it invariably runs into the jaws of another one. Snakes are everywhere. A real nightmare, isn't it? Here, a snake has bitten into an iguana, and there it has toppled another, and the third is almost buried under them. But suddenly, the last lizard emerges from the tangle of snakes. The tough skin protects it from random bites. The snakes hindered each other, giving the iguana a tiny chance, and it seized it to the fullest. The agility of the iguana is astounding. It reacts lightning fast to the appearance of new enemies and avoids encounters with their fangs with such mastery, as if this were not the most dangerous chase in its life, but just an ordinary Tuesday. So are you rooting for the lizard or wishing luck to the snakes, who also need to feed on something? Let us know in the comment section. And don't forget to tell us which case of unexpected and powerful resistance against snakes impressed you today the most. We are interested to know your opinion. Also, remember to subscribe to learn even more interesting facts about the inhabitants of the wild world. The leopard is cool enough to defeat even a honey badger, but this kid was too much for him. When the porcupine noticed the crouching predator, it attacked in an unexpected way. It began to back away and aim its needles at the leopard's eyes. And the cat was not ready for this. As a result, several needles pierced his muzzle and paws. This is not the only epic case when a leopard made a mistake with its choice of prey. We must pay tribute to the leopard. Attacking an entire herd of bulls is an adventure that requires really nerves of steel. The predator's tactics had a chance of success. He suddenly rushed at the calf and tried to kidnap it right from under the nose of the herd. The combination of incredible speed and strength allowed him to count on success. Running while holding prey weighing as much as a small motorcycle in your teeth is pretty cool. But the leopard underestimated the cohesion of the herbivores. They did not abandon the calf and fought back against the predator. The leopard couldn't get far with its prey in its teeth. He was stopped, surrounded, and began to be beaten with horns, rammed, and trampled with powerful hooves. The leopard definitely regretted choosing such a target as a calf. He fought back and even tried to keep his prey in his fangs for a while. The leopard has a plan. He wants to strangle the calf, retreat, and return to dinner when the herd is left. But the predator does not have time to do this. He has to unclench his jaws, otherwise he will simply be trampled upon. The leopard escapes from the angry bulls only because there was a tree nearby. The predator manages to hide in its crown. But the buffaloes are in no hurry to leave. The leopard will have to wait a long time until they stop chasing him. Not only his parents joined in the protection of the calf, but also all members of the herd. This mutual assistance of herbivores deserves your like, doesn't it? Here too, the leopard tried to pull off a similar trick, but he was not even allowed to pounce on one of the ungulates. The initiative was quickly seized, and the leopard was forced to retreat immediately. It feels like he flew out of the thicket, said something like, "Sorry, I made a mistake," and then flew back into the dense thicket. And even if the predator manages to catch the cub, he will have to deal with the mother's anger. And this is a very bad option for a cat that is several times smaller than a hoofed one. The leopard is trying to climb a tree with a calf to finish it off like this, but the parent strikes terrible blows with his horns exactly on the body of the cat. The leopard even does somersaults from this. He gets to the tree, but he has no prey in his teeth. The calf is alive and runs out of the thicket, and the leopard has to lick wounds in the crown of a tall plant while an enraged enemy is waiting for him below. The leopard crept up to the donkey and grabbed it by the throat. It seems that the poor big-eared ungulate has no chance. But just look how calmly he walks with the leopard around his neck. It's as if the predator doesn't cause him any inconvenience at all. The donkey doesn't panic. He's trying to trample the leopard. The predator manages to force the ungulate down to the road. It seems that now the leopard will finish off the donkey, but no, the ungulate rises to its feet again and gives a powerful rebuff. As a result, the leopard runs out of strength and lies down on the ground. It's the donkey's turn now to teach the leopard a lesson. Who would have thought that this ungulate would chase a mighty leopard that has to save its life? Leopards are powerful predatory cats that have incredible agility and are strong enough to take down a zebra or twice as heavy of an antelope. And thanks to its well-developed ability to disguise itself, the predator is able to get very close to the fleet-footed gazelle. The ungulate, despite all its speed, simply will not have time to react to the attack. An impressive throw from the height of the second floor will end with a helpless victim in the paws of the leopard. Leopards are masters of ambushes. They are able to silently sneak up on prey and quickly attack into a vulnerable throat. Usually, a spotted predator strangles its prey. Although it is inferior in size to lions, tigers, and jaguars, leopards have great strength and can take down a zebra with one blow, lift a gazelle up a tree, and jump a huge distance. But contacting lions and entering their territory is a mistake even for an experienced spotted hunter. The leopard hid in a dense thicket. You gotta agree, he is almost invisible to us. That's just that lionesses have well-developed senses and are able to focus not only on sight, but also on smell. They tracked down the leopard and attacked it with the three of them. Even one lioness is bigger than an adult leopard, and there are several of them here. They pulled the spotted cat out of the thicket into the open to teach him a painful lesson. It is better not to poke other predators into the territory of lions. We must pay tribute to the spotted hunter. He fiercely and desperately fights back. The leopard lay down on its back, but this is not a sign of its submission at all. On the contrary, in this position, the predator can most actively and effectively defend itself. He uses all four paws and is ready to fight off the threats from any side with them. Powerful punches and curved claws are his first line of defense. Biting into the enemy with them, the leopard develops an attack with lightning speed and tries to bite the enemy with its fangs, tear, get to the throat into large vessels. But the leopard underestimates the lionesses. They have no less cool of an arsenal, but more physical strength and are able to work together. They attacked the leopard from different sides, and they leave him no chance of a successful counterattack. This leopard heard some noise in the thicket and decided to check if it was possible to have a snack for those who make these sounds. No, it's not possible. It's an adult lioness. She easily rebuffed a large and strong male leopard. He had to go on the defensive and run away from the lioness to save his life. Although both cats have a spotted color, it is quite difficult to confuse a cheetah and a leopard. Now you can compare these predators up close and underestimate the obvious difference between them. The leopard is a muscular and rather squat beast that relies on agility and a powerful punch rather than speed. But the cheetah is a sprinter who has a lean and flexible body with long limbs. In a cheetah, 2 black stripes descend from the eyes to the corner of the mouth, and the spots are solid. Leopard spots often have the shape of rings. While the predators are standing quietly and watching each other, there is another adult cheetah behind the scenes. Suddenly, the leopard breaks into a run. He thinks he can catch at least one cheetah by surprise, deal with the competitor, and easily finish him off. But the leopard underestimated the fastest runner on the planet, who easily breaks away from the chase. Trying to sneak up on a cheetah is also not a good idea. Here, the leopard was able to get close to the opponent at a fairly good distance. There are literally a few steps between them. The leopard covers the distance in 1.5 seconds, but the cheetah's reaction speed is fine too. It was as if he was ready to attack, so he instantly breaks into a run, accelerates, and breaks away from the leopard, which almost clung to his back. The leopard did not have enough inches to throw, but this distance saved the cheetah's life. This leopard is used to the fact that cheetahs always retreat and run away from him. Well, he just didn't know who he was messing with. An aggressive and rather large predator will not run away. On the contrary, he attacks the leopard himself. He did not expect such a turn of events and retreats in panic. Here too, the leopard received an unexpectedly powerful rebuff from a female cheetah. She is lighter than the opponent, and any injury threatens her with danger because she will not be able to reach maximum speed for hunting. These arguments are usually enough to retreat at the mere approach of a leopard, but not this time. And that's because it's a female that protects a teenage kitten. The leopard tries to attack him and gets a tough rebuff. A female cheetah slaps him in the face, and the leopard is shocked but finally realizes that he has contacted the wrong opponent. He runs away, and the female cheetah chases the enemy, trying to hit him a few more times so that the aggressor remembers this lesson a little bit better. The leopard clearly decided that such a huge and well-fed beast as a hippopotamus could not be nimble and fast. The predator saw the little hippopotamus going to his mother, and the two of them were walking along the shore of the reservoir. The predator thought that he would have time to deal with the baby before his mother noticed it and fought back. This was a big mistake. It turned out that hippos can move at an amazing speed. The leopard had to retreat. And the hippo family calmly continued their walk. They don't even seem to take the leopard seriously. Is it a shame? Maybe, but the female hippopotamus didn't crush his head. The leopard came to the tiger's territory and regretted it very much. The mighty predator immediately noticed the intrusion and crept up to the leopard within throwing distance. The tiger is the largest and strongest representative of wild cats. It is unlikely that the leopard expected such speed and agility from him. But the striped hunter turned out to be incredibly fast. He rushed at the enemy with lightning speed and almost caught him. The leopard made the only right decision. Instead of trying to escape, he climbed a tree. But just look. Right here, the tiger also climbed up the pole. A tiger is about 3 times heavier than a spotted cat. If he had gotten to the leopard, he would have broken its neck for a few seconds. But still, he could not climb up to the same height. The leopard climbed onto the thinnest branches right at the top of the tree. That is what saved him.